Oh man.
Woo! It sounded great.
A different intro. No rickshaw.
What's
What's happening here?
The show's getting better. That's what's happening.
All right. Well, look, this isn't usually nerding out with Rickshaw, but we're taking over since he had to go see Dayseeker or something, whatever. So we're gonna be doing the hardcore corner, is what we're gonna lovingly call this threesome we've got going on. And
Ooh.
yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna be the fill-in host. Toby, the producer, also. Guys, introduce yourselves.
What's up, nerds? It's Rabbit.
Hey guys, I'm Fuzz.
Yes. So we got some topics and stuff. We're gonna play some games, sort of. We're gonna play the what is post-hardcore. I'm so excited about that because I can't wait to see what the arguments are gonna be.
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, like, dude. So Toby and I were talking before the show, and we were talking about how, like, I looked up the definition of post-hardcore. Not, like, because I wanted to know exactly what that genre, how it is. Dude, and it opened up so many rabbit holes, how many layers of post-hardcore there is, like, with your emo post-hardcore, and then you have, like, dude, it is insane. And I am so excited to talk about all this.
Yeah,
it's not even funny.
I mean, metal already has like enough genres as it is, and then you split it in like it's like I don't know. You split it into one genre, and then that genre splits into another genre.
Oh, dude,
it's just a whole Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah. So I think it's gonna be fun once we get to that. But hey, we don't really get to give a lot of love to like the music we're listening to as of now. So I thought we could, which I also have a very curious question. Like, how do you guys find new music? Because my way is stupid. My way, like it's either
MySpace. Yeah, you use MySpace, don't you? That's what it is.
Like when I find new music, it's usually because of sponsored ads on Instagram, and I know Fuzz gets some of that too, because me and him have sent each other bands, and we're like
multiple times.
Yeah. But the other thing I do is like if I dig a band, I've been going down on Spotify and I'll see the similar artists and I just start clicking through them and then I'll listen to one. I'll be like, all right, this is getting added into the rotation of stuff. So do you have any special way? Rabbit told me a minute ago he doesn't find new music.
I don't find new music. I let my friends tell me what bands they listen to. But yeah, I listen to like the same 10 bands like on repeat for the most part. Every once in a while, something will sneak in there that I haven't heard before. But I don't know. I don't even know how to. I guess Spotify algorithm maybe sneaks one in there for me. I think that's how.
One of those. Whoa! This wasn't on my playlist. What is this?
Whoa! What is this? I don't.
This isn't
I don't know if I
Norma
like
Jean.
I don't know if I like
this. This isn't Norma Jean.
Did Every Time I Die put out a new song? I don't know.
You know, that's another thing. Like, do you guys make playlists? I don't make any playlists. I fucking hate when people are like, I have this playlist for this and that and this. I just listen to the album. Like, if there's a band, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start at track 1 and I'm gonna listen to it while I'm working or cleaning or whatever it is I'm doing, mowing the yard. That I just let it go through.
To be 100% honest, I do have certain playlists. I do have a 90s playlist.
Okay, I do have a 90s playlist.
I swear by. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's songs from the 90s that I'm just like, if I'm feeling down, I'm fucking listening to this playlist.
Yeah.
And then I have like a
Sugar Ray.
Sugar Ray's badass though. Come on. There's a couple of good songs.
Hey. You know, like I have some Spin Doctor stuff on there, some Blues Traveler, Little Hootie and the Blowfish.
You got some
dude. Yeah, dog. I'm a sucker for a harmonica, man. I'm a sucker for a harmonica.
Don't give me the runaround now.
Ooh! Like, so when it comes to newer music, like, I always do the made for me playlists because most of the time it is the same 10 bands that I listen to, but they'll sneak in So that's how I found a ton of the bands that I listen to now. Like that's how I found Throne. That's how I found like Filth.
Yeah.
Like I would have never heard that band, and then it just popped up. There's a couple more that I love because of it. Like it's pretty sick. Hell, that's how I think Jabe found Greyhaven and was like, "Yo, you got to check Greyhaven out. They're sick." Like I listen to the playlists. There's not a lot of albums that I can listen to from back to front, and I will admit that right now. There's some albums like I have just my ADD won't let me listen to the same band. I don't want to listen to the same band over and over unless it's like He Is Legend. I do that with He Is Legend all the time. I will listen to like their records in full, but other than that, I really don't listen to many bands, albums, just playlists that Spotify makes me. That's really it.
Maybe
Yeah, I've definitely found some bands I've been to.
Maybe that's a future topic of like what is like your top 5 albums you can listen to just straight through.
Oh.
You're not skipping nothing. You're just gonna jam it.
Dude, I can name them right now.
Let's save it. We need future
I got a
segments.
bunch of those.
dude, I can tell you my top 5 albums right now.
So some of the bands that I've been listening to here lately, I've got the American Dream. First off, that band name's sick. Just the American Dream.
It is very sick.
They
are they newer? Are they new?
So it's confusing. It looks like they may have been a band a long time ago, but they're putting out new stuff. But it's the same sound. They sound like Hot Damn Every Time I Die.
Oh,
yeah.
What are they called?
The American Dream.
American Dream.
I'm literally writing that down right now.
They've got 2 singles out right now that are pretty badass. One is obviously way better than the other, but they're still really good. What's that?
Is there not a band called American Nightmare, or am I making that up?
I know there's a
Wasn't
wrestler,
that a movie or something?
There's a wrestler that goes by the American Nightmare.
Okay, maybe that's it. I was like, are there a band named American Dream and American Nightmare, and they're not on tour together?
That'd be sick. The American.
There was a band called American Me, which
American
was
Me
sick
was
as fuck.
Shit.
If anybody listening has never jammed that band, please go fucking.
I've never even heard of that band.
Oh, dude, the opening track.
The first fucking song. Just go listen.
American Me.
American Me.
It's I think that's attribute of the week or something like that.
Yep.
So good. Hits you right in the face right from the beginning.
Guess what happens? Guess what happens when I type in American into Spotify? The first band that pulls up is American Nightmare.
Oh, so
you're right. All right,
nailed it.
Yeah, I jam that band every day, dude. Shit. Yeah, in the first song on the American Me record, he screams, "We are American Me." It's so sick. It's
right into a
so sick. Right into a heavy ass breakdown.
We got to start an American tour.
Yeah, get all the American bands.
All 3 bands.
They're just Jurassic.
American Me, American You, American Me Without You, American Nightmare.
Dude, I would listen to American Me Without You. I would. Me Without You is great. How do you make that mesh? How do you make that mesh?
So I've been listening to a lot of Heavy Hitter. Heavy Hitter's dope.
Oh, dude, same.
The new Boundaries.
Same.
Oh, Boundaries is sick.
That new record is. Those guys are finally getting to blow up. They're finally getting what they deserve, dude. They're so fucking good. They're bringing Jinko Core to the map, and I'm all about it.
Jinko Core, isn't that just new metal?
Yeah, dude. So I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was either Boundaries or Orthodox did a Jinko ad.
Orthodox, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those bands, and they played like Furnace Fest, and they all had baggy Jinkos on, and I remember watching the videos, and I was just like, "Thank you, thank you for bringing it back." Yeah, I'm so happy.
My kid wants he doesn't want Jinko specifically, but he wants big pants right now, and I'm like,
get him.
Yeah, the big pants are back. My nephew's like 16 now, and he got Jinkos last year for Christmas.
Dude, that's sick.
Do you know what they call it? Y2K grunge.
Y2K grunge.
Stop.
Yes. So like because he goes, I want to start dressing Y2K grunge. He's 14. And I was like, what the hell is that? And he was like, let me show you. I'll get a picture. And he pulled up a picture, and I was like, is that a fucking picture of me in middle school?
Yeah, no shit.
What did you just show me?
Yeah, I did
Wow.
that. You know what's crazy is, so like, my wife and I talk about this all the time, is how styles, they always come back around, right? Have you noticed that this style with the baggy pants and baggy clothes is coming back around a lot sooner than other styles have? Like, I love it because I wore the skin tight pants. I mean, come on, if you were in a band at that time, you had to. It was just part of it.
It was the dress code.
It was, and then of course, I went back to my khaki shorts, and I haven't left since. But like, I love that baggy pants are here. I love that people are wearing high water baggy pants. I love it all. But don't call it Y2K grunge, because grunge died a long time ago. It is new metal, if anything at all.
I don't even know if it has been that short of a period. It's been like almost 30 years. Like 1994 was 30 years ago.
I mean,
so but the 70s to the 90s was only 20 years, and people were wearing 70s clothes. You know what I mean? Like,
very true. That makes sense. I didn't even think about it like that. Make me fucking
don't put it in
rethink
perspective.
everything that I said now.
We want it to feel like it was yesterday.
I was at the horse races for Mother's Day, and I saw these guys, and they all looked like they were in Led Zeppelin. And like, I'm serious, they had chops, they had unbuttoned shirts all the way down to their belly buttons, they had bootcut jeans that looked like bell bottoms, and it was like, I could do without that style. Like, yeah, if that's what you want to do, cool, man, that's cool. But like, I fucking hate that style. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, stop that. Stop it now.
Okay, so my brother's living with me. He's 22. Very big age gap between us. I'm 35. So he has his little friends coming over, which they're all kids to me. They're 20 and 21 and stuff, but they're all kids. And like, they come over, they've got tattoos everywhere, they've got face piercings, they've got ears gauged and stuff, and I'm like, you're my people, I think. And then they're like, oh yeah, I don't listen to metal or anything like that. It's really confusing, the style, because that's all like the hip-hop rap stuff now. And it's like, wait a minute, this was like what all my friends wore, because we were so different and hip and cool, And so it's super confusing now that it's been adopted by a whole different like genre of music. I was gonna say people, but it's music that have. Is that the same way with this new Jinko wave of stuff? Is that the cool rapper hip hop thing to do now?
I don't know. I think metal bands just were like, man, let's bring baggy pants back. like truthfully, because I remember when Wheezy crossed over and started wearing skinny jeans and Vans.
Oh yeah.
And people were like, whoa, what's this about? Like, whoa, hold on. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. But now I'm seeing a lot of snake bites, and I'm seeing a lot of stretched ears and piercings, and you're like, oh, scene kids, and it's like, no. They're like they're trying to be rappers. Like really.
They're all SoundCloud rappers.
Dude, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I think it's great that people are like trying to get into music, but like now, back when we were all younger, people wanted to be musicians, like wanted to play an instrument, play in a band. Now everybody wants to be a rapper or a SoundCloud, like whatever, which is cool. Again, I can't say that enough, but like, it's crazy how that's just all changed. Like, I don't know, man. The only thing cool that they've really done is made it acceptable to get your face tattooed. Like, that's like legitimately it. Like, that's it.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot easier to learn how to produce a song on your laptop or whatever on Fruit Loops than it is to learn how to play guitar or drums. You know what I mean? So
true.
A lot more people can just make songs now. It's more, widely accessible.
Yeah.
Because of digital media and all that stuff, than actually having to sit down and learn an instrument and write a song.
Yeah, we didn't have that. We had to learn how to play instruments or whatever.
Exactly.
You were left to
we
your
didn't
own devices on filmmaking, on music, on everything. Now everyone's got a recording studio in their fucking pocket. You know, whether it's video or
Yeah.
audio, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just do it on your phone.
Could you imagine all those MySpace like grindcore bands back in the day actually having the equipment now? I mean, we've talked about this before on a episode of Nerding Out with Rickshaw, wherever he is, where like those shitty recordings, those shitty recordings are so great, and like
Yeah.
they wouldn't sound good polished, and that was kind of the charm, is that it was like DIY, you know, shitty like basement recordings.
Those are
Exactly.
the best.
It definitely like was a sound of an era
Yeah.
that will never exist again.
And you know, and what's fun is I'm going to go back to how you find your new music. Back those MySpace recordings. Those are the reasons why I listen to bands like Whitechapel. I would have never found Whitechapel without MySpace. I would have never found Immure without MySpace.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole genre. Like there's a whole era of music that if it wasn't for MySpace, I don't think these guys would even have ever like gotten signed and toured and anything like that. Like it's awesome. That's how I and now everybody gets Spotify and they can just go find new music to listen to. Like we had to dig on MySpace. That shit was tough.
I remember having like LimeWire and FrostWire and just like rolling the dice of like, what am I downloading? And like I remember I was slowly kind of getting into like the metalcore kind of stuff, and I was looking for a Killswitch Engage song, and I didn't really know them at the time, and I found a song that was called Killswitch, but it was by a band called Circle Takes a Square, and I love Circle Takes a Square. I
They're
love
so
them
good.
so much. And anyways, that's the only reason I found them, is because I accidentally downloaded like, oh, maybe they just shortened Killswitch from Killswitch Engage, and I downloaded it, and I was like, what is this fucking noise?
Oh, dude.
I love it.
Dude.
I don't know what it is, but I love it.
I think that's why like I like to go on Spotify and just be like similar artists and just hit like play, you know, just to see like I'm rolling the dice, seeing what I'm getting, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, dude. We all had mixed CDs, man. That said, hey, dude, check these bands out, and it was like, okay.
So we all had like we were all in kind of the same friend group, kind of growing up. But like in my little group, I was the guy that always had to make all the mix CDs because I had the computer. I was always the computer dude. And I was always like just passing out the mix CDs to everyone. And I had to write all the fucking band names on it because people would be like, hey, what's track number 3? I don't know, dude. So I had to write it all on there for everyone. I've had people show me that they still have CDs with my handwriting on it. They're like, dude, I still have mixtapes. I'm like, thank you for keeping that.
Dude, I found like when I met my wife, she was into a lot of those bands. She had a ton of mixtape, like just mixed CDs with bands like who we're going to see in December, the Blood Brothers. Like, I had no idea. And I'm so stoked. I had no idea who that was, and she was like, "Oh, you gotta listen to him." And I was like, and I was a metal guy. I was like, I don't know how I feel about it. And I heard Daughters. She had a CD with Daughters and fucking and Blood Brothers on it, and I was like, damn, they're fucking sick.
Do you remember the John Bonet?
Dude, the John Bonet was so sick.
Yes, they were. It's not fair that some of these bands did not get huge. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You remember? I know Toby remembers this. Do you remember One Night in Paris?
Yes, we booked them.
You booked them. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you remember them? Like bands like that. Shotgun Valentine, I think was the name. Bands like that, dude. Like just.
There was a band that had 2 songs up on MySpace, and every once in a while, like every 5 years, I try to see if someone uploaded the stuff to YouTube. But they were called the horror movie massacre or something like that. The horror movie.
Yes.
And they had this one song that was so cool, and I'll never hear it again. I'll never hear it again in my life, and it kind of breaks my heart.
Do you remember the Heartland?
Yes. Well,
dude,
there's bad blood right there.
Yeah, there is. But
me and Rickshaw are good though. But there's the Heartland was sick though.
They were sick.
Yeah.
The music was sick. I don't care about the bullshit that came.
The bullshit is
so much bullshit came along with that. So much bullshit, but they were sick. I'm just saying, there's like so many bands from back in the day that just like deserved to be bigger, and because we didn't have technology like we do now, bands couldn't get that away.
No, and okay, so I've thought about this for years and years. I wish there was a website to preserve old local bands and stuff like that, or bands that aren't on Spotify.
Hell yeah!
But like, I know that some of these artists have.
Rabbit, no.
No, I was just thinking it'd be very difficult to get on that.
It would, because
media.
Well, you don't know who's like actually on a record label where it's, someone owns the rights to it or something. But like, I have people that ask about local bands all the time, and I do have it. So I have to email it to them or something. And I always just wish there was just one spot where I could be like, go to the fucking website and go listen to it, or, stuff that's not available anymore, like Old in Theory. I think there's one album up, but I have like, who else was in our, Enjoy the Fall.
Oh my God.
I've got some
Enjoy the Fall.
Like, there's a lot of Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, I mean, do you remember Dryline and fucking Jackknife? Yeah, dude, they were just bands from the DFW area that were just dope as shit that should have gotten bigger, and they never did, and it was bullshit.
I mean, there's so many of those bands. I wish there was just a one-stop shop for, like, if people wanted to upload their old, like, shitty music, they could. But I know what would happen. Someone would take advantage and be like, I'm putting the new Taylor Swift record up on there. And then, it all gets pulled down because of copyright infringement and stuff. So I get what would happen. I already can see that. But anyways. All right. I think we should go ahead and get into this genre thing, because I'm stoked about it.
Sweet.
And otherwise, we'll just go on and on about fucking.
I could go on and on
early
about
2000s or mid 2000s local bands.
But I mean, this category, some of this post-hardcore stuff does. A lot of those bands do fall into some of these categories.
Yeah, they do.
Like, let's be real here.
Absolutely.
But however, I mean, I could talk about local bands that deserve their flowers and never got them. I could talk all fucking day.
Also, a lot of really big bands came out of that. Like, I saw Circa Survive in Lubbock, Texas, at the tiniest venue before they were anything. They were touring their first album, and now they're like massive.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Huge. Yep. That dude can sing. God, he can sing.
He can sing.
All right.
He's a really good singer.
He's a
really good singer.
I'm gonna tell something. I'm gonna tell a story real quick. Obi, you want to hit me? You want to hit me with it?
Yes.
You got it preloaded.
I'm sorry. I tried to set it up as best I could.
Good.
So the reason I dislike Circa Survive so much, it's not because of any. It's the dumbest thing in the world. But when we were on tour, there was a person that would drive, and every time they would drive late at night, they would put on the same Circa Survive record. And the only reason I ever knew lyrics to this band was because I listened to Circa Survive every other fucking night when his turn came up to drive during the night. And I hate it so much. If I hear the song, I will walk out of the room because I've heard it so much. And it was every time, only when they drove at night. All right. And, it's usually every other night the way the shifts line up, and it was the worst fucking shit in the world. I know it's not a real tour story, but I hate Circa Survive because of being on tour. That's all I'm fucking saying.
Hey, it was a good enough reason to use the graphic, so I appreciate you. But did you like it at first? Were you like, all right, yeah, cool? And it just pissed you off slowly, like after day 6, you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Once it got to the point where it was like I knew the lyrics, I was just like, okay. I would wake up because I always slept on the first bench in the van. That was always because I'm too big. I wasn't going to the back of the van.
Yeah.
So the front bench was always my bench, and I fucking would wake up and I would like grab my dreads, and yes, I would grab my dreads and I'd put them over my ears and then put my pillow over my ears like this and just fucking sleep because I could not stand listening to fucking Circus Survive again. Every fucking time we drove. It was the worst.
All right.
But anyway, post-hardcore, let's fucking do this.
All right. So I've made a little category. We simplified it. We're not going to get... Look, subgenres are subgenres, right? Like, there's a bajillion subgenres. So, let's see. I've got a bunch of old bands. I had you guys send me who you think are post-hardcore. So, let's... since they're in the news, we just got tickets to this band. Where are we putting the Blood Brothers at?
See, I don't like this already. I don't know where, because they are, to me, they fit the post-hardcore category.
I think they're post-hardcore. I think they are.
Because if we're going to go by definition, catchy choruses with some heavy vocals over the top of it here and there.
Screaming.
I just feel like I'm gonna go post-hardcore on this one. Rabbit, what do you think?
This one is hard. This was a bad one to start with, I feel like.
It really was. No, as soon as he comes out with Blood Brothers, I was like, oh.
Yeah, because they're like in a different genre, I feel like, then that's not just, it's like a subgenre of post-hardcore.
I think
It's
so
like,
too. Yes. But if we have to cram it, because this is what a lot of people do. This is what drives me crazy about this catch-all category. It's a catch-all for everything, and it drives me nuts. So we have to decide.
Yeah, I would definitely say post-hardcore, but you could also put them in punk though. Like
in punk,
you could very easily put them in punk.
But if you look at the definition of post-hardcore, it's punk, like the punk speed and so on and so forth, with heavy vocals over the top of it, but they do have catchy choruses. What's the Burn song?
The Burn, Piano Island Burn.
Yeah. That song right there, dude.
Yeah.
Like that right there, to me, that's very catchy.
Yeah, but you can do that. That's what I'm saying. That could also be a punk song.
True, yes. But I'm gonna go post. I think post. Post is where I'm at on that.
All right. I'll accept that.
Let's go with a newer band. Let's go with Greyhaven. What do we think?
Yes, absolutely.
Metalcore. Really? I'm a metalcore guy. I think they're metalcore. I think it's metalcore.
No.
Yeah.
I think
they're not heavy enough to be metalcore.
But the thing about it is there's so many subgenres of metalcore too. Like that's the thing. The catch-all stuff. Like I think Greyhaven I will put them in post-hardcore. I will agree with you because they're not heavy enough, but they do get super heavy in a bunch of places. But post-hardcore is a good place for them.
To me, I can clearly name metalcore bands. Like, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Greyhaven does not fit in with those bands. Like, you couldn't put Greyhaven on a tour with like August Burns Red and Killswitch Engage.
Right.
I would go to that. I would go to that tour.
And As I Lay Dying, they just wouldn't fit on that tour.
I would go to that tour. I would go to that tour. But you know what? Post-hardcore is honestly I'm gonna have to agree with you as much as I want to fucking argue, but I think it's because like if we're gonna go metalcore, your Kill Switches and All That Remains and Unearthed and stuff like that, like I get it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm revealing too much by accident.
Yeah, don't give it away.
Okay, let's knock this one out. Glassjaw.
They are the kings of post-hardcore, and you will not fucking argue with me whatsoever in any way, shape, or form.
I agree 100%.
On the list I sent to Toby, what did it say, Toby? The kings of post-hardcore.
And you weren't wrong. You weren't wrong at
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, there might be one. But I don't even know if it's on the list. Because I forgot to put it on my list. But Glassjaw was, I think, my second choice.
Yeah.
I think, on the list I sent to Toby.
There's a lot of stuff on here, so it might be in here.
Right.
Okay. So I've got some stuff in here that's just for fun, just to see, just to...
Okay.
Terror.
That's hardcore.
Let's not skip over how badass Glassjaw is for a second.
No, dude.
Like
Look.
Worship and Tribute is one of, like, we're talking about those albums you can listen to front to back and not skip a song or anything. Like, Worship and Tribute is such a good fucking album, and people that don't understand Glassjaw need to like reevaluate their taste in music. I don't know.
Just first off, Terror obviously hardcore.
Right.
Some of the keys
Terror is
of it.
hardcore. Yeah,
Terror is.
But
they're like the poster child of hardcore.
That's what I think too.
go back to Glassjaw.
Yeah,
For Glassjaw to come out of hibernation after they went through all their bullshit with their label, and then put out a record like Coloring Book and our favorite color is green or whatever that EP was called. Those two records, those two EPs, are two of the greatest pieces of music in post-hardcore or any genre of all time. And you cannot change my mind. The Coloring Book EP is so fucking good. It is ridiculous how good that is. But Worship and Tribute, one thing I'll say, I hate that this is a thing. The drummer who wrote that record, do you guys know what band he's in?
I don't know if I want to know.
You're not going to. The drummer that was on Glassjaw's Worship and Tribute wrote one of the greatest, like on drums, one of the greatest records of all time. He is now the drummer of Godsmack and has been for a very, very long time. Yes. And like people will interview him and be like, yo, how does it feel to be like a part of one of the greatest albums to ever grace this earth? And he's like, yeah, it was cool. Like, no, man,
Bro,
it wasn't just
on.
cool.
It wasn't just cool.
He's being humble.
Oh, fuck.
Being humble.
Oh, fuck, dude. Anyway, all right, let's move on because I could talk about Glassjaw.
Circus Survive. What do we?
Dude,
I don't think they're post-hardcore.
I think if I would say anything, it'd be indie at the
Indie.
You know what?
indie for sure.
I agree with you guys. I don't think they fall into post-hardcore. I think that they get shoehorned in because I don't know why, to be honest, because I guess of who they've toured with and stuff. But I don't think they fall into
that certain style of like mathy. It's all indie rock. That's all it is. It's not heavy. It's just mathy. You know, like.
And really cool.
What they call it?
Really cool effects.
They call it Swancore now, I think.
Yeah,
Does it Will Swan?
Wilson.
It's like Seosin, Dance Gavin Dance. Yeah, all those bands. They're in indie alt rock.
So this is where I think that it's different.
Prison.
Huh?
Prison.
I think that there's different albums for Dance Gavin Dance that feel more post-hardcore. I think the self-titled.
Is it because they have a screamer?
Well, that,
yes.
but like they do have some like heavier like parts and stuff.
They do.
But I would throw some of their stuff in post-hardcore. But really, at the end of the day, I think all indie alt rock kind of vibe.
I feel like
can you just? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I kind of agree with you, Toby. I feel like indie rock vibe. They do have a lot of heavy stuff. Like I've listened to a lot of Dance Gavin Dance, and some of it's cool. But like if you were to take away, the heavy vocals, it would be just Circus Survive.
Yeah,
like it really would be just Circus Survive. Like they give parts to John so he can scream here and there, so he stays in the band.
No,
like that's really Like because I've toured with them and
they put the microphone in front of him and say, "Go scream some bullshit."
Yeah, the dumbest lyrics you can possibly fucking think of, and then we're gonna make millions of dollars doing it. So here we go. Who cares if people are ODing and shit? We're still gonna make millions of dollars. But hey, whatever. MacBooks. Anyway, let's go.
Let's see. Scary.
I was going to say, Toby.
Oh,
wow. Throwback.
That's my god. Oh my god, dude, that's post. That's got post. That's one of those. That's one of those. Look, and the reason I say this is because we start talking about the subgenres. They were the emo post-hardcore subgenre of post-hardcore.
I think that's like a new generation of music, but.
I can't stand.
I'm getting. Yeah,
I can't stand the subgenres.
This is hard.
Emo. Emo and screamo to me are not genres.
They're not genres of music. I hate that. I hate both those terms.
I do too, but
They're
the
not
reason I'm
genres of
saying
music.
but what I'm getting at is like, so you had I say scene, I don't say screamo or emo. I say the scene, like the scene post-hardcore. These guys were like the kings, man.
Yeah.
Like one of the kings of the scene.
Yeah.
Post-hardcore. Like they're
I
not
would
in
call
the
it
same
like scene core.
They're not exactly. They're not in the same genre as Glass. Like nobody in this list holds a candle to fucking Glassjaw yet.
Yeah.
But like, quit showing off the list, Toby.
I'm shuffling them around trying to grab some new ones.
But Scaring Kids, I'm gonna go post-hardcore. That's where I'm at right now.
All right, that's fair. Like, yeah, okay, yeah.
All right, Under Oath. Where are you throwing them?
Shit, dude.
See,
this is one of those things. Like everything can fall into post-hardcore if you squint at it hard enough, and that's my problem with it.
If you analyze it too much, it's
a.
They can also go in. They can also go in metalcore. They can go.
They could go in metalcore, but
they were heavy enough that they could.
They were, but with like that chorus. What's the I'm drowning in my sleep? That song. Yeah.
They have those
catchy chords. Yeah, I agree. I fucking hate them. I don't
that
think
one
they're
album
any good.
that got them super popular. That was super catchy.
Only Chasing Safety.
Yeah, that one. Everybody loves that album.
The album after that was fucking wicked. Like they had.
Yes. To Find the Great Line is heavy as shit.
Yeah.
It's so good. It is very metalcore.
And
but that first record,
shit.
Dude,
but the one that got them popular was like, it's scene core. And I guess we have to put that in the post-hardcore category.
It's going to have to go in the post-hardcore. I mean, I would.
Their stuff now is
metalcore.
Is not even metalcore. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know what it is.
So you two want to do post-hardcore? Because I would have gone ahead and thrown them in metalcore, to be honest.
I think I'm okay with metalcore because as a whole, I could see them on tour with the Kill Switch or one of those bands.
You know what? I think there's on one of their tour DVDs or something. I'm pretty sure it was them where they're on.
No, it's hold on. Let me. What's the name of the tour? It was the Winter Warped Tour is what they called it. But it was like Under Oath, A Static Lullaby, fucking Kill Switch. God damn, it's gonna kill me what the name of that tour is called. The Used always headlined it.
The Used.
The Winter Slaughter tour.
Winter Slaughter.
Winter Slaughter. Oh God. I'll think of it. Give me a second.
Okay. All right. So
but anyway, go on.
This next one, Fear Before the.
Oh, damn it! Oh, that's so tough.
It's so tough.
See, I'm putting Fear Before in post-hardcore.
I think so too, especially with the later records.
The later records is what I was gonna say, but the first record, dude.
What do you call the first? Like even Art Damage.
Art Damage.
Art Damage was incredible, dude. Art Damage is so good.
Their discography is great. Like it's what four total albums, and it's great.
That was once again, that was a subgenre of music that was like, if you liked those bands, you knew like we were talking about the Jean Bonnet, Fear Before, the Blood Brothers. They were all they were all in the same genre.
Right.
And it wasn't just post-hardcore. It was like another
thing
in itself.
Here's the thing. I feel like they gave hardcore vibes, and this is where I try to define post-hardcore, but they didn't really have the breakdowns or the call-outs or anything like that. Maybe one or two songs,
Dude, the party doesn't start till the spike is in the punch. Dude.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Let's coke like we're vacuums. Good lines. Great lines.
Honestly,
such good lines.
And those bands can go in punk too.
Yeah,
it could go in punk too.
It could fall into some punk stuff, but I do think the last two albums, full albums, really pushed them into the post-hardcore area. So what do you guys think?
I'll go Fear Before. I'm pretty sure I put them on my list, so I guess I have to just.
Yeah, I'm gonna go post. I'm gonna go post for sure.
I think it was on your list, Rabbit.
It was.
Okay, let's get a different one in. Let's go Taking Back Sunday. Where are we throwing these guys?
It's post, dog. That is
Okay.
100.
The trash.
No,
The trash.
What?
This
I'm
is
throwing
where-
them in the trash.
this is where I think it's alt indie rock. I don't think they belong in post hardcore. I think
absolutely not.
They got grouped in with all the post hardcore bands.
You're right. Okay. I will give you that. I
Take It
put
Back-
them on my
Take It Back Sunday is
backup
like
list.
pop punk.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're pop punk. I think more indie
guess
alt rock with
indie
a
alt
hint
punk.
with a hint of pop punk in there.
Indie
Yeah.
punk. Indie punk, is that a category?
but they, you know, like with the way they wrote their songs in the like repetitive choruses over and over again.
yeah.
That's really alt rock stuff. Like
Yeah.
where you're saying the chorus, you sing it, you go to the chorus 6 times in a song and it's 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
that is 100% an alt rock song. Like, yeah, I put them in the post hardcore. I did, but I'll agree. I'll agree.
So this one, I feel like, is going to be one of the most controversial to talk about.
All right, let's do it, baby.
Poison the Well.
Oh,
It's hardcore.
Okay.
I say post hardcore.
Hardcore.
Ooh.
They like
I'm gonna tell you.
I need
I'm
to
gonna
hear
just
reasons
say-
before I weigh in.
Hold on. I'm gonna give you one reason. I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna go, okay, you're right. 10 for 10 tour.
Oh my God! Yes, that was such a badass tour.
They headlined a hardcore tour.
yeah.
So now, if you told me they were metalcore, I would maybe go into that
Yeah.
because they are from that area where metalcore is big. However, they have a lot of hardcore feel to them. But I totally get the post-hardcore vibe from it all. That's why I fucking hate this, is because
See, I was
they were on metal tours, they did hardcore tours, and it's just like, fuck, what are they? But post-hardcore might be where they fucking belong if we're gonna like. God damn it! God damn it!
I know.
to me, I feel like the real genre that Poison the Well and a few other bands on this list should go in is melodic hardcore.
Yes, 100%.
And that's
Yeah.
a genre that's not on there. Poison the Well
Yeah.
is melodic hardcore, and that could go under the hardcore banner as a subgenre.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
But
yeah,
they
yeah.
could also very well be on post-hardcore.
Well, see, that's like Misery Signals. They're melodic hardcore for sure.
Yeah.
And so is Counterparts, melodic hardcore.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot
I'll
of bands
give
that
you
go
that.
under that. That's that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know what? I say we can put them with hardcore, but I agree with Rabbit that they belong in the
More,
melodic hardcore genre.
I would
as
say
opposed
melodic
to,
hardcore is under the flag of hardcore.
for sure. As long as everyone understands that. Real
But
quick,
then,
do we have?
how do you differentiate between melodic hardcore and post-hardcore? Because didn't you say that post-hardcore is catchy choruses? And
It's
heavy
dude.
vocals?
It is.
That's
and,
melodic
like,
hardcore.
Look, my 2 cents on it. I think Poison the Well is a hardcore band, and I think even their later stuff, like at the end of their albums, I think it becomes more metalcore ish. But I still think that they have, because I went through like some old hardcore bands and listened to later stuff, and it's just like a more matured hardcore sound. That's
right.
That's how I try to convince myself that they're still hardcore, I guess.
But if we were to like, okay, so like just being whatever, you know, like they're still playing hardcore riffs.
Yes.
Poison the Well
Yeah.
does. They still play
Yeah.
the power chord, hardcore riffs, and then it's like, oh man, he sings and it's real pretty too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And he remembers a
Yeah,
lot.
to me, that's why it's melodic hardcore.
We used to have a joke
Mo-
that Jeffrey remembers everything because he's got like 3 songs on the opposite of December where he's like, I remember. So he just remembers.
Yeah, he remembers.
All
He
right.
remembers December, I guess.
Brand new.
Oh boy. I guess
Controversial
they're still going in indie rock. They would Taking Back Sunday.
dude, I put them in post-hardcore.
Okay.
They were
Hold
on
on.
my list.
This is my argument. I think their first 2 albums are more alt indie rock. I think everything that they did after Deja Endu or however you say it, is
Yeah.
post-hardcore. I think
like Devil and God.
Devil and God are Raging Inside Me, Daisy. I think that falls in post-hardcore. Even though, look, we all know the Vocaloose is a shitbag, but like we still have to we still needed to put this somewhere. My vote would be post-hardcore.
See, mine is post-hardcore. I feel like they were, again, to break it into different levels, I feel like Brand New really was like, they kind of crossed several boundaries.
So
Do what?
I'm pretty okay. I'm gonna check my list that I sent to Toby.
But see, I do think those first two albums easily fall more into
No,
the alt indie.
I didn't put Brand New on there.
I
did
did.
not put Brand New on there.
That's my only caveat on this one. Is
I just
their first two albums, but then like what I feel like defined them later is what made them more.
their first two albums were pop. Their first two albums were pop punk.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Absolutely. But then they mellowed out and they actually matured with their sound, and I feel like that just evolved into indie rock.
Yeah.
Like that's why I say not post-hardcore, but
Okay, this next one should be easy. A Day to Remember.
Pop punk.
pop punk. Yeah.
I would say either metalcore or punk for sure. I think they got more punky stuff like back in the early days.
Their first two records were very like legit pop punk, but they do have a lot of hardcore riffs. I think we can put them in the punk category as they fall under the pop punk.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like
They just there was like those pop punk bands that started doing breakdowns.
Yes,
but it's still pop punk.
It's still pop punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just chugging in standard. It doesn't sound that great. You know what I mean?
You're still writing pop punk songs and then throwing a breakdown at the end.
Yeah, we all know that you hate your town. You're not. You
gotta get out of the town.
You're not crossing the train tracks, but then next album you're like, man, the town's not so bad. You know what I mean?
What about I always mispronounce this because I'm stupid.
Pierce the Veil.
I always say veal for some reason because I'm illiterate.
The veal, like
Pierce the veal. Yeah, nice piece of veal. Pierce it. Where are we throwing these guys?
I don't even know what they sound like, honestly. I don't think I've ever listened to this band.
I've
heard their name, but I've never listened to them.
First off, a couple things. I think the song is called "Bull in the Bronx."
Yes.
That song goes fucking hard.
It does.
The only reason I know that because I had to teach it. I had to teach it to a couple of my students a long time ago when I was teaching drums. Their drummer, his name is Lionel Robinson. I'm playing drums for Pierce the Veil right now. Probably top 5 drummers of all time that I've ever seen play drums in person.
They've got some new fame here in the last couple of years because of TikTok.
Yeah. Dude, Lonnie can play the drums so well. It's fucking stupid. He's amazing. Anyway, Pierce the Veil, I would honestly, because they do a lot of screaming and stuff. I would put them in post-hardcore. That's just where I'm at.
I'm with you.
I just think they're too like Warped Tour-y band. I don't know, like those. I think you have to be of a time to be post-hardcore. Maybe I'm going back on all these bands that we put in there, except for Glassjaw. Maybe.
As I Lay Dying.
Oh, As I metalcore. As I Lay Dying is metalcore.
Prison.
Prison. All right, that was an easy one. What about Dillinger?
Oh.
Sorry, I had to send a text message.
They're either post-hardcore or hardcore.
That's what.
But see, I can't.
I guess I would put him in post because he does sing.
Sing a lot. He sings a lot.
They would have to go in post-hardcore.
I mean, even on their earlier records with what's the other singer's name on Calculating Infinity, that record, they sang a lot on that record too. Still.
Yeah.
But I don't think what's his name. Cannot pronounce this dude's name to save my life. Greg Piocco. Piocco.
I think it's Pucciato or something.
Whatever, dude. I don't know.
Pistachio.
Mr. Pistachio.
He really didn't. I don't think he found his voice on what's that record? Iron Ore. Is that the name of the record?
Yeah.
Ironworks.
Ironworks. Thank you. Ironworks.
I don't know. Miss Machine is pretty fucking incredible.
Miss Machine's great.
See, I agree. But like,
Ironworks is like my least favorite Dillinger album.
That's my favorite Dillinger album.
Really?
Black Bubblegum is, I think, one of the best metal songs ever. Like, really.
Well, there's good
written.
songs. There's good songs on that album, but there's a lot of filler too. And it was just like, I don't know.
But I think that's when he found his voice. But now
Option Paralysis, though. Option Paralysis.
Sick. One of Us is a Killer.
One of Us is a
Killer. That record, front to back, one of the best.
I think Option Paralysis. We're gonna get to a Dillinger debate now, but I think Option Paralysis is so underrated. So underrated.
I agree. See, I feel the same way about
the album is so good.
Right. I mean, let's be real. Calculating Infinity is.
I don't really like that.
Dude, I love that record. I don't like tech metal. I fucking hate it so much. But Dillinger was that one band that I was like, this is fucking insane. This is insane. I'm gonna watch them.
Well, they're just live. So live show was insanity.
Yeah.
Just complete. Just.
So where do you want to put them though?
I'd put them in post-hardcore.
Let's just go post. I'm gonna go post.
They're probably in their own genre that somebody
I think so
gonna
too.
Get mad about.
But if we have to cram them into one of these,
yeah, they're cramming him into post-hardcore.
Now, real quick before we go on, is there anybody in the chat telling us otherwise? We have not checked the chat yet.
I would love for anyone that's watching to give us weigh in on what you think we've done so far. If we got something wrong, tell us why, so we can debate it, maybe, possibly. All right, let's see. Botch,
post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore. That is 100%.
Yeah.
If
they're like.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not destroying you.
It is, but what I was going to say about Botch is, I don't think people appreciate what came from Botch.
Everything.
We would have never gotten the Chariot. We would have never gotten Norma Jean. We would have Poison the Well.
Fucking Dillinger's Escape Plan. Like, they're all come from Botch.
It makes me so mad when you're like, oh yeah, oh dude, you know Botch, and they're like, who's that? And you're like, what? Like, get it? I understand it, but like without Botch, there would be so many bands didn't exist if there wasn't a Botch. And I will fucking say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
that being said, Botch and Poison the Well should probably be in the same genre, right?
I think so.
They should both be hardcore.
I think so too, because Botch falls into that category, that weird.
Because they're basically the same band.
They
Poison the Well and Botch are basically the same band.
Yes,
I get their songs confused all the time.
Do we want to move them?
I think we should move them.
I think Botch should be in hardcore.
I think Botch should be in a hardcore. Now,
move.
I'm not gonna say that they're like hardcore, but they're in a genre of like the melodic style hardcore because you get it. And like Chariot, dude, they're just in their own fucking genre. Their music doesn't make sense, Toby.
But they're going in there with Dillinger Escape Plan.
Yes, for sure. Yes. They're going to go with Dillinger.
They're going right next to Dillinger Escape Plan.
That's the right move, I think.
Like, oh my God. There's so many. Oh my God. My mind is being overloaded right now by so much music.
All right, Thursday.
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Make America the Chariot.
Dude.
Damn right.
Oh, man.
Look,
what is it? My other ride is the Chariot?
Yes.
What is it? Like,
I have no, and it says the Chariot. My other ride is
the Chariot.
Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
What about Thursday?
I'm going post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore.
Then that one's easy because I think that's post-hardcore all day long.
That is 100% post-hardcore. Understanding a Car Crash, one of the best songs of that genre ever created. War All the Time. Dude. And you want to know something? What's crazy? 2 years ago, Thursday headlined This Is Hardcore.
Really?
Killed it. The hardcore kids were stoked. Yeah, when they started getting back together and doing stuff, they headlined This Is Hardcore, which if people out there aren't familiar with that show, It says it in the name. It is like strictly, it's hardcore, and they
The biggest hardcore.
and they crushed it.
Yeah.
Crushed it, dude.
Hell yeah.
Let's do this one.
So, dude, rock and roll,
Ooh.
fucking rock and roll, dude.
baby.
You know what? I'm with you. This is some kind of just like rock and roll, alt rock, whatever you want to call it.
I was gonna say I would honestly probably put them in alt indie rock.
But we do have a.
I did see them with Killswitch though. I saw
That's
them on
true.
tour with Killswitch though.
I don't think they follow metalcore, but we do have a name for them. They play spooky cowboy music, is what we call them.
Spooky cowboy music. That's exactly what it is.
There's only two bands in that genre.
Yep.
It's Rob Zombie.
It's Rob Zombie and he is legend. God damn it, dude. So I remember when I was teaching, 10 years ago or whatever. I was talking to the kids and they were like talking about genres and I was like, look, I'm just going to tell y'all this and y'all need to learn it now. Rock and roll died the day He Is Legend stopped touring.
Yeah.
And they were like, who is He Is Legend? And I was like, look, dude, if you don't know, then you don't know rock and roll because they're the only rock and roll band. And anybody wants to come on, oh, Led Zeppelin, oh, AC/DC. No. He Is Legend
rock and roll
is the rock and roll band.
I'm with you. I still think 68 falls in that category too. I think He Is
Yes,
Legend,
they do.
I think both of those are just the fucking core rock and roll bands, plural.
Because there is no The Chariot, I fucking hate 68.
I get it.
That's just where I'm at.
Let's throw this one up there. Refused.
Sick. That's post-hardcore, baby.
Post-hardcore for sure.
100%.
I could almost throw them in punk because
I was gonna say that too.
I agree.
I could throw them in punk. I would be okay with that.
They were the shape of punk to come.
Yes, sir. Well done. And it's true. I think,
and it's true because everybody sounded like them after they dropped.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that first record was insane.
They started a whole musical movement. That's another band like Botch that you don't understand how many bands came from. Like, even if you didn't listen to Refused, like, your band was still influenced by Refused.
Oh, yeah.
Because the music you wanted to play sounded like a band that you heard that was influenced by Refused.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I guarantee it.
Dude, there would have been no I Wrestled a Bear Once without Refused. That was Steven's favorite band. That was Steven's favorite band was Refused. Like, people don't even know. And what's funny is people don't even know it. And then they hear that one Refused song. I can't think of the name of it right now. And everybody's like, and everybody's like, oh shit, I love this song. It's like, yeah, no shit, you fucking do. These guys.
That song dropped in 1994, dog.
Not only that, they were also some of the first guys.
96 or whatever. I don't know.
Some of the first people to fucking go ape shit on stage and just jump off. Like, there's other bands.
Every Warped Tour band modeled their stage presence after
100%.
Yep.
The Chariot modeled their fucking dude, like Norma Jean,
everyone. Skinny jeans, black swoopy hair, like it was like spinning guitars, all that shit was from Refused.
Hardcore. Don't even debate that.
It's
Throw
easy.
it up there.
Yeah.
Look, I had to
that's
put
a slam dunk.
I had to put some layups in there. Like, it's just,
Look, first off, Kubla Khan, to me, there's Knocked Loose, and then there's Kubla Khan right now. Two biggest bands in the heavy world. Throw them up there. I would put them in a metalcore. I would put Knocked Loose in a metalcore. Because I feel like Knocked Loose walks the fine line of metalcore, and even
I feel like Knocked Loose is hardcore.
I'm with hardcore on Knocked Loose.
But
like, I don't know what, like, they don't really play metal riffs. I don't ever heard any metal riffs.
But they do play metal riffs, and they just don't have the singy choruses. But because those guys, when they talk about themselves, they call themselves metalcore. That's the new thing. Like, I was talking to Toby, metalcore Twitter. All the hardcore bands that are big right now, they all a lot of them call themselves metalcore.
Metalcore.
Because, like, they're just what's the word I'm thinking of?
I think
like
it just
into one genre.
Yeah, I think it's just I think almost like metalcore now is becoming that catch-all that all these bands used to fall in. Like if you do metal and you have breakdowns, you're easily thrown into the metalcore. I think it's just the same thing that as post-hardcore is. Okay.
But I'm okay with them being in hardcore because that's I mean they write fight riffs. Let's be fucking real. They're a beat down band.
Yeah.
They're a beat down band. Beat down bands. It's a hardcore thing. Like it just
absolutely.
is what it is.
I don't know this band, but this was on one of your
Dude, Scarlet. They're so sick. If you haven't listened to Scarlet,
I don't know Scarlet. Scarlet's not on my radar, so y'all are gonna have
to
tell
so
me.
Good.
Dude,
they only had like 2 albums.
Yes,
they were both fucking incredible.
Dude,
but they're going in post-hardcore.
Post-hardcore.
Yeah.
I only know that because Rabbit and I'm pretty sure you and I had a conversation about that band, and I listened to them. I would have never ever heard them otherwise, so and sad. It's because you were like, "Oh, dude, this band."
I love them so much.
I feel like this one's gonna hurt me wherever it lands. Every Time I Die. Where are we putting Every Time I Die?
Honestly,
I'm going post.
I'm gonna go post. I'm gonna go post-hardcore. That's easy for me. However, if we were to talk about rock and roll bands, I feel like Every Time I Die is right there.
I think so too. That's the problem.
Because
I think they fall into that like dirty southern rock metal.
This is just crushing my soul. all this stuff. Like,
but they play some of the best and heaviest breakdowns of any band. Well, and so that's, to me, that's hardcore, like with melodic singing.
And then
once again, they're like.
Floater has
that's why I put him
one
in
of the best breakdowns.
Rock and roll.
Floater has one of the best breakdowns of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period. You can't change my mind. But post-hardcore is where they belong. They were a Warped Tour post-hardcore band. Like,
if they didn't do breakdowns like they do, then I would say yes, they could be in a rock and roll category or whatever.
Okay, fair.
But the fact that they do so many breakdowns and they're all fucking heavy and good, that puts them in post-hardcore for me.
So I only got 2 more, and I think these are going to be real easy. So we'll just from first to last.
That's okay. So
I think post-hardcore. That's my vote.
Oh, it's post-hardcore. It's post-hardcore. But again, so when I was researching all this stuff, found a guy, and he put them in like a metal. Like not a metal, excuse me, a post-hardcore subgenre of post-hardcore, like the scene core. Because there's different levels of post-hardcore, obviously. They're a Warped Tour band, but they were humongous.
Yeah.
They were huge. And it's insane. But they're like a scene core band, like Chiodos was a scene core post-hardcore band. And there they are. They were on my list.
God, I can't stand this fucking band.
Look, man.
It's post-hardcore.
Look.
Trash cans where they go.
Dude, okay, hold on. Okay, so I used to hate them. I really did. I fucking
hate.
Dude, but then somebody explained Chiodos to me. And I was like, okay, whatever. Makes sense. They were a bunch of dudes that liked writing heavy riffs. Heavy, cool metal riffs. And they just ended up being in a band with that fucking dude, I can't think of his name, that sings in the band.
God damn it.
But
terrible.
Their music riffage
Craig
is so good.
Isn't it Craig?
So good. Yeah, Craig Owens. Yeah, Craig Owens. It was a good Craig, I think.
The good Craig, yes.
But like
Chiodos was your girlfriend's favorite.
Oh, my wife loves Chiodos.
Not you. I just mean like
my wife loves Chiodos.
Your girlfriend.
That's one of the only reasons that I started listening to them. Their first record was, dude, I still listen to it to this day.
And they had the cool old names, like no hardcore dancing in the living room. There's no penguins in Alaska. Like the old school, like MySpace titles of names. Oh, I miss that.
So song names used to go hard.
Dude, like
song names used to go real hard.
My favorite was Devil Wears Prada, and they had This Song Is Called.
Yes.
That's a sick fucking song name, dude. This song is called. Like, come on, that's awesome.
Okay, so
And
do
they
we
had
think
a HTML rules. Yeah, let's
Yes.
go post-hardcore.
post-hardcore? That's what I think.
Post-hardcore for sure.
But do you see? Look how like crazy when you have these bands lined up together, and you're like, oh, Dillinger and Blood
From
Brothers.
personal less don't belong in the same category.
Yeah, I hate that it's a catch-all, but it makes
Yeah.
sense.
It does.
And it sucks.
Well, I feel like if you put another category up on that board that said scenecore or Warped Tour bands, then a lot of those would separate.
But then Fear
would separate
Before
the
would go
category.
into that. Fear Before would separate into that category.
It would.
Scary Kids would separate in that. Brand New would separate into that category. Like, there's a way. Like, if we were to go, you know what I mean? Like,
every time I die would probably separate it.
Yeah,
Dude,
I saw every time I die.
I
Warped Tour.
bet every time I died played more Warped Tours than fucking
Than anybody.
than anybody. Yeah, dude. So like, but
Yeah.
I am a little upset, Toby, because one of my main ones on here that I think paved the way and bridged the gap between punk and post hardcore is not on here, Toby.
Oh, what was
and
it?
I'm a
Maybe
little upset.
I forgot it. What was it?
AFI.
Oh, you know what? I looked it up and I forgot to save the logo, I think.
AFI, dude. AFI started as punk and then started moving towards that post-hardcore sound.
Sing the Sorrow is definitely a post
until they just like took a downturn.
Yeah,
but
dude.
See,
but
that's what's cool about AFI is that they do have different out. They've got the punk album, they've got the post-hardcore, they've got the alt indie rock kind of record. Like they have a good variety of like stuff.
And what's his name?
That's
Davey
true.
Havoc. Is Davey Havoc the singer? Yeah.
Davey Havoc, yeah.
That dude is the amazing vocalist.
Oh,
amazing vocalist.
I love so Black Sails in the Sunset is one of my favorite records.
Such a great
that
record.
Album goes so hard.
Yeah, dude.
What's the other one?
Sing the Sorrow is fucking is
so
great too.
good. That album's so
I
good.
love Sing the Sorrow.
It was the one
sucker
before.
for that.
It was one before. There was
I'm not
Black Sails in the Sunset and they were like the two back-to-back records, and they were so fucking good.
Dude.
That's when they really started to do like more hardcore. Like,
I feel like that band falls to the wayside. So many people people forget.
Well, it's because they fell off. They fell off real hard.
It's because they put out Miss Murder.
Their later albums were so bad.
Yeah,
dude, it was. But at the same time, it's like I hate when bands evolve. I like bands staying the same.
I like when bands evolve.
Cool.
I like when bands mature
the better.
in a good way.
Yes, but Sing the Sorrow was a radio record.
Oh,
100%.
But it was
my god,
so good.
The Art of Drowning. Are you kidding me? That album is so.
Yeah, dude, I agree.
Yeah, those two albums for me were like that's AFI.
And that band, I think, is right there with Glassjaw when it comes to like that post-hardcore. To me, on that list, the truest. And you also forgot another one.
What was
I have one.
At the drive-in was one
of
my big. Were you gonna say at the drive-in?
I was gonna say at the drive-in. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I don't.
But that was
a
tricky one though. That's a tricky one though because they could also be in like the indie rock.
Yes, and I agree, but I feel like they were.
But they were so special. At the drive-in was so special.
And then we talk about their live show. Their live show was just like Refused, just like they went off. And at the drive-in does not get enough love because of that shit band that he started afterwards. Yeah, I said it. I don't fucking care.
The Mars Volta.
Mars Volta fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I would. Sparta is cool as fuck.
Their first record was dope, though. Their first record was dope.
Man, it is.
Deloused is one of the best records of all time.
Dude, Deloused in the crematorium or whatever. Okay, dude.
It's so good.
It's good, but it just sucks because I love At the Drive-In.
So do I.
So like whenever it's like, oh cool, Mars Volta, this is not At the Drive-In. This sucks. Like I want
that first record goes hard. It does.
It does. But whatever. I totally get it. But Patterns Against User is like such a great fucking song.
Yeah.
Oh my god, their first record is so goddamn good.
Toby, you need to listen to some At the Drive-In.
I guess so. That and Scarlet, I'll add those to my list.
Like Relationship on Command, That
Oh
album
my
just
god.
fucking kills. That's where all their
This-
hits came from. All
Yeah,
their hits
dude.
are on that
Oh
album.
yeah. Pattern Against User.
One arm scissor.
One Arm Scissors, so good.
Yeah.
Fucking on the record after that, Napoleon Solo was a great fucking song too.
Yeah. And they came out. Their new record that they came out with
It's
was really
good.
good too.
It was
Yeah.
really good.
Like 20 years later, they released an album, and it's like they still got it.
Really?
And so they played a show. Their first show back was at the Glass House in Pomona. And I read a detailed article before I watched the live video. And the dude writing the article was like, and as soon as the lights hit and they started playing, it was like they were all in their 20s again, going crazy, going ape shit on stage. Like, it was like, and they're all in their late 40s at this point, you know what I mean? And like, they still put on a killer fucking show. And then they're just like they just stopped playing shows again. They're like, all right, cool, whatever. Fuck it. We're done. And it just, and I never got to see them. And it breaks my heart because they didn't come anywhere close for me to go see them.
No.
And it just,
and they're from El Paso. Yeah. They're from El Paso. We could never I never got to see them.
Dude, I used to work with a guy who was from that area, and he got to see them when they were younger.
Yeah.
Like when they were first blowing up in El Paso, and he was telling me about it, and I'm just like, dude, shut the fuck up. I don't even want to talk to you about it. Like,
I hate you guys right now.
That's a bucket list band for me. Yeah. I got to record in Omar's studio in South Pasadena, which was, I don't know if anybody cared as much. We only recorded drums in there, but I got to record where all his stuff is. All his instruments were like basses and guitars with his name carved in it. Omar Rodriguez's. Like, dude, it was fucking coolest experience of my life. Like that, the only good thing that ever came from Surrounded by Monsters was getting to record in Omar Rodriguez's fucking studio. Like, really, truthfully, like that shit was that was the coolest shit ever. So yeah, anyway, that's my at the drive-in tangent. Continue with something else.
Well, do we want to touch on the pit etiquette real quick and then wrap this up? Because the reason this got brought up is because there was a story that happened to the band Trophy Eyes. I guess the vocalist did a stage dive and hurt this young lady, Bird. It landed on her, and she's like half paralyzed right now or something. They have a GoFundMe up right now for her recovery and rehabilitation. So,
does she weigh like 70 pounds?
Yeah, she looks really small. Here, I found the footage of it. Here, let me blow it up. And it doesn't look like, I mean, we've been to these shows, we've seen stage dives, we've seen crazy bullshit. This doesn't look like anything out of the ordinary.
No.
No.
But just getting landed on wrong, it can do a lot. So,
did you know when you drive, when you ride your bicycle, you could a crack in the cement and flip over the top of it and hurt your neck and be half paralyzed?
Oh yeah.
That's my point. I don't.
Freak accidents happen.
Freak accidents happen.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be different if he called her out and did the old school neck breaker from the WWF and fucking broke her goddamn neck.
Yeah, he didn't pile drive them.
Like, I'm not saying I don't feel bad for this person, because I do, because I don't want to see that happen in a scene that I love. And,
right.
Like, I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, you get in a car knowing every day that you could have a wreck and die.
Yeah.
You go to a show knowing people are going to be stage diving.
Right. There are signs usually that say mosh at your own risk. Stage dive at your own risk.
Or they say no moshing.
Or no stage. Yeah, exactly.
No. And dude,
it is very unfortunate that happened, but you hear these stories once every couple of years. Like, the dude kicked the girl off the stage one time, or, I don't know.
I watched
But
something like that happen.
yeah, freak accidents do happen
Mm-hmm.
on occasion, but the point of a mosh pit isn't, as far as my perspective has always been, is not to just hurt people. It's never been to hurt people.
Right.
It's just to release your aggression. And, if somebody falls down, you pick them up. If somebody's hurt, you stop the show. It's never been about violence, like pure violence. It's more about just everybody's there to have a good time, but also to like release your wiggles, dude. You gotta get your aggression out sometimes.
Everyone's angsty. Everyone wants.
And you're bumping into people. It's hot. It's sweaty. It's gross. But like you said, like if you're a 70-pound girl, like maybe you shouldn't be in the middle of the pit.
And,
Use some common sense.
But and I agree with that. And I'm not trying to sound harsh or like I don't even know the word to use, but like if I weighed 100 pounds or less and I wasn't very strong, I was going to a show where there's a potential for someone jumping into the crowd, I don't think I would stand up front or somebody in the band. Like people, it just bothers me because it's like I feel bad for this person, but at the same time I don't, because you knew what you were getting into. Like I don't understand it. Like it's like going to a terror show, somebody's out there hardcore dancing and you get punched in the face and your nose gets broken. It's not like you didn't know that it was going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
If you're not willing to risk the, your own safety, you shouldn't be out there in the first place, because it is an unsafe environment.
Yeah.
Right.
If you know anything about the scene of like, and honestly, I didn't know much about Trophy Eyes before this. Because of this, I kind of listened to them here recently. Because at first I was like, that doesn't sound like a band name where they'd be stage diving. Maybe that's something unique. But I mean, they're not bad. They're pretty good. I enjoyed some of their stuff. But it's still rock and roll. Like, I mean, it may not them particularly, but like any kind of like rock band, there's potential that someone's going to fly off the stage. And especially in a little club like that, where you can actually, there's not a 8-foot.
No barricade.
Yeah, no 8-foot
no barricade.
And I've seen it where there's an 8-foot barricade and someone comes barreling off the goddamn stage and into the crowd, So it's not like that's a sure bet either.
I
don't care.
People just don't understand. Like, okay, we were raised in mosh pits, right? We went to shows as young adults and we understood the risk. But like people nowadays, they just don't get it. They expect not to get hurt. They expect that people are going to be looking out for them. And really you have to be looking out for yourself.
Yeah.
You have to protect yourself at all times. I went to a POD show.
I was fixing to bring this up, Rabbit.
And Norma Jean was direct support. And Norma Jean, if you don't know, is one of my favorite bands of all time. So they start playing, and there's people standing up at the front of the railing. And it's like couples, older couples, their wives have like glasses of wine. But you're in the pit, right? You're standing there with your glass of wine, but you're still in the pit. So you're fair game. I don't care that you're there to see POD, but you're there. This is the Norma Jean set right now. It's not POD. You're standing there. And I went down there to have a good time. And I started jumping, singing along to the songs, pounding my fist and jumping into the crowd. And they started like getting mad at me. They were like, get out of here. Get out of here. What are you doing? They like turned around and were like pushing me away, like, get out of here. And, and then the security guard of all people, who I thought would, have my back, he did not. He pointed at me. He looked at me and was like, you cut it out. And I was like, I thought we were at a rock show. Like, is Norma Jean not on stage right now? Just like going heavy as shit.
What is this, the Wiggles?
But I was the one that got in trouble. Like, it's a totally different time now. It doesn't like, that's not mosh pit etiquette.
No, in my experience, like, if you knew the heaviest, grossest fucking, like, I want everyone to kill each other kind of band is out there, but you wanted to be on that rail for the next band. Yeah, you just went through it all.
You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get squished.
You just accept
you're gonna get pushed around.
Yeah, you accept it, and because you want to be up front for that band. I'm not someone that hangs on the barricade. I don't want to be on the barricade. That is the worst spot. I don't know why people like that spot. That is the absolute worst spot, and especially when crowd surfing starts happening, you're the motherfucker catching every soul that comes past you. You know, they're right on the back of your head. The whole time you're doing this, you're not even looking. You're just
you gotta hold them up.
Man, just.
But sometimes that's fun,
dude. It is. It's all part of the show experience.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to be involved in that, stand in the back. Oh, if you can't see, I'm sorry. Figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Because
sorry.
There's a band recently. I'm not gonna say their name. No, fuck it. Varials, who sucks now because they don't have a good lead singer anymore. Varials on stage. They were fucking. They used to be breakdowns, right? That's what they write. They write mosh music. Let's be fucking real. That's what they wrote. And they stop a show to tell people, hey, don't mosh so hard. You fucking kidding me?
I didn't know about
You're writing? Dude, go find the story. Go find the story.
Stupid.
Find the story. I guarantee you'll be like, what the fuck? Seriously. And I'm all for people being safe. I am. I don't want people to get hurt, but like I've gone to shows where it was like, like the people you were talking about at the POD show, those people in my younger days, I would have sucker punched them in the back of their head multiple fucking times until they moved. Because I'm like, that shit just bothers. Like, if you're mad because we're having a good time, fuck you.
Yeah. Get out of the way. Just get out of the way. That's all you have to do.
The most fucked up part about it, I know where you were at that show. There's 20 other places those people could have gone to see fucking POD.
Exactly. They could have been standing on the railing. On the second level, where I was before I went down there to see Norma Jean. I was standing right there on the railing, had a perfect view of the band, and I wanted to go down to sing with my favorite band. And I did. And they got mad at me for doing that.
Fuck that. When we were
all of them. Fuck all of them.
Toby is the fucking okay, there you are. I thought the stream ended on accident. No, I remember Toby, you were at the show. We weren't doing stuff yet. We weren't doing podcasts or anything. And I remember you and Michael Ward being there. And you two were standing on the steps at that venue. What was it called? Gas Monkey.
Gas Monkey.
Rotting Out started, and I almost pushed you two over to get into the fucking pit.
Yeah.
Rotting Out started, and I was like, I don't really much care for Michael, so whatever. But God, Toby, I feel bad. I hit Toby, you know. And so and it was just like one of those things. Like Toby didn't come after me to fucking hit me. He was just like, "Women, what the fuck," you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get bumped. Sometimes you get nudged.
Yeah.
And that's part of the experience. That's a part of the experience. You're going to get bumped into. You're going to get nudged. You might get punched in the face. I got punched in the face one time, and my glasses flew off my head, and I didn't have glasses for the rest of the night. So they were gone.
Hold on. Did
I get mad? No.
If I got to give my ex-wife any kind of credit, this is one of the most positive things I can say about that woman. One time we were at a show, and she was kind of in the music scene like us, but not as deep as we were. And I love standing on the edge of the circle. Like I love I may not get in the pit anymore, but I want to be right there and feel the energy and you know, I want to almost get hit. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I almost want to get hit.
Yeah.
It's part of it, dude.
Bump into me. I like it.
Yeah. This fucking crowd killer started swinging and just turning in circles, like hitting everyone in the fucking face in the crowd. And I was in the back, the back of the pit because that's where I can see the dancers, I can see the band, I can see if someone's gonna hit me. It's the perfect spot. She was standing next to me, and she wasn't even she was like kind of, behind me a little bit, and his fist came out, somehow managed to hit her. She had big gauged ears, fucking clocked her. Her glasses went flying. Both her gauges went flying. She lost every fucking thing.
Oh, no.
And just like Terminator just kind of went and just looked back up, and I was just like, But she knew. Like, that was my thing. I didn't go after I hate when dudes go after, like, you hit my girl. Dude, you knew. You brought your girl to a
Shouldn't have been
hardcore.
standing there.
Okay, hold on. Okay, first off.
Hold on. This is the first, like, part of the pit etiquette.
So you say you don't like it when guys go after the girls. Okay.
No. Like, if they're targeting, that's bullshit. That's 100% bullshit.
So like if it's an accident, no, I never got mad.
Yeah.
One time, which next time Mike's not here and we do a hardcore corner, we're gonna have Tales from the Pit. All right, that's what we're gonna do.
Tales from the Pit, yes.
All right, because I'm gonna
so
make
many stories
for it
right after this.
Do it,
so you know.
make it, because I've got a bunch. So one time we're at a show. It was when Mike Zemer first started doing shows, Third String, one of the big shows at Plano.
My enemy.
Yeah, dude. And so alley, I'm in the back talking to my friends. You know, I'm not dancing yet because it's not a band that I care about. Some dude bumped in the alley, and Allie was just kind of like, you shove people off of you. You don't fucking like just kind of move them out of the way.
Yeah.
He turned around, and he fucking like bowed up. He was fixing a box. Allie comes over to me and she said, "Hey, the guy right over there, fucking, he bowed up to me like he was gonna hit me." And I was like, "You fucking serious?" She goes, "Yeah." All right. So I walk, and at this point, like the guys I ran with at shows, no matter what happened,
they had your back.
They always had my back. All right, and again, when we go Tales from the Pit, I got tons of them.
Dude, you gotta have a good pit crew. You gotta have a good pit crew.
And I did. I walked over to this guy, and she pointed him out. And I walked out to the middle, like not the middle of the pit, but where he was.
Yeah.
I grabbed him by the throat, grabbed his pants, and picked him up and slammed him basically on his fucking head. No. I like this, picked him up and slammed him on his fucking head. Scorpion.
Oh, yeah.
And I turned around, and I walked off. That's all I did. And Allie was like, "Thanks." And dude, I just like fucking walked back to the back of the fucking pit like, "All right, fuck this dude. You're gonna bow up?"
I feel like this is like an 80s movie moment where you walk past her and you high-fived her and then you turned around and you went, like, you had a freeze frame moment and you're like,
no, dude, but that was one
Mentos commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
He pops up Mentos before he goes and does it and he just fucking kills this dude and he's like,
dude, I crushed this dude, and like back then I had so many anger issues. Like, dude, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care. Now I'm like, God, you dick. You could have broke his fucking neck and killed the guy. Whatever.
Well, that's a mature, like, looking back at the situation. Like, I know there's some of the shit I used to do in the pit, too, that's like, oh, what a douche. But we were talking
about with Ross. Well, we were talking about earlier with Ross. All right.
No, we weren't. Ross is watching this like, what happened to me? What happened to me? Yeah, cut that.
But I get what you're saying. Like, I think it's cool whenever it's like, okay, I just got hit. It sucks. I'm mad, but I'm standing right here.
It's so fucking. It's so fucking frustrating, and you're like, God damn it! I want to punch you in the back of the head, but I know I chose to stand here right in the aim of it. So yeah. I went to that Capra. I went to the Capra show the other day. And there was this dude dancing, and you put your fist out, like, hey, buddy, I'm fucking arm lengths away. Don't fucking pop me in the nose. So I saw this guy fucking swinging, dancing, whatever he was doing, and he got pretty close. So I just picked my fist up, and he was leaning over, and like his momentum came, and I didn't put my fist up like fast to hit him. But as my fist came up in his momentum, his face, I felt his fucking tooth on my knuckle. And as soon as it did, I went and like patted him on the back, like, because there's also those dickheads that stand on the circle and they're like, don't fucking hit me. And they'll fucking pop you. They'll pop the hardcore dancers and stuff. I think that's some pussy shit. I think that's absolutely. Yeah. But like, I don't
want to be standing there.
Yeah.
Tales from the Pit, brother. I got so many of those.
But see, I didn't want him to think like I was one of those guys, like just fucking hitting the dancers as they came by. So I was like, I patted him on the back. I was like, I'm sorry, dude. And he was like, not good. So and that's you get that nice thumbs up from a stranger in the pit. It's fucking great. It's like
Your face ran into my fist.
Yeah, your face ran into my fist, and you're cool about it, and that made me happy in the moment. So
all the guys that I used to go to shows with, like the crew that I ran around with, we all became friends. A lot of us, like I became friends with them because they would start fighting or whatever with somebody, and I would like either break it up or pull them off of them and stuff like that. And so we went to all the same shows, so we all just became friends at that point.
Yeah.
And like it was sick because, like I said, I got fucking stories about that shit.
Dude.
Like the cheap guys that cheap shot. But tell one story and then we can fucking go. I got to tell a story. J-Town.
Yeah.
Justin Brock. I love telling this story. We were at a Walls of Jericho show.
Teddy bear of a person first. Let's say that. I'm
Teddy
sure
bear of a human. Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah, so sweet.
We were at a Walls of Jericho show, and I think I've told this thing on the podcast multiple times. I'm gonna tell it anyway. And it was before I hardcore danced. I was too cool for it. And at a Walls of Jericho show, and this guy's like cheap shotting these girls in the front of the stage, kicking them in the back. And this is at Fat Daddy's, you know. There's no barricade.
Fat Daddy's.
And he's just like cheap shotting them. I kind of jumped like I'm about to hit him, and I was like, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. And J-Town, during the Walls of Jericho set, leans over to me and he goes, I can hit him. Real calm, real smooth. And I was like, nah, man. He just goes, hit him. I don't know. He does it again. I catch that motherfucker square in the jaw as hard as I fucking could, dude. Drop that dude. He went and he sat up against the wall and was just like head in hands. But it was so funny because J-Town saw that I was so pissed. He was like, hit him. That's real calm.
How do you have the sweetest teddy bear devil on your shoulder? Like, that's the fucking greatest. The sweetest man you could ever meet in your life.
Fuck.
Just fucking do it. Just hit him.
Just hit him. Dude, and I mean, the way... So when we were doing Worship and Tribute Nerd with Mike, we had the whole crew on, like the whole Because of Her, Surrounded by Monsters stuff. And J-Town was here at the house when we did it, and he told that story, and it makes me so happy to hear him tell it because he seriously is just like,
do it. That's great.
But anyway, all right. Okay, that's it. That's enough. I'm gonna save it for the Tales of the Pit. You need to make that graphic. We gotta make that happen.
We're gonna have a graphic. So next week, I don't think Rickshaw is gonna be back. We could either take the week off or do another hardcore corner. We'll talk about it.
I said we do another hardcore corner for sure.
And I say we do Tales from the Pit because that's such a funny segment name and just a good time to talk about like shit that's happened.
Just thought of it.
Oh, it's so
right off the top of the dome, baby.
Top of the dome.
I guess this is the part where we're gonna promote some stuff that we all do. You guys can go first because y'all are promoting the same thing.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Yes, we are.
Rabbit, and if you don't know, Rabbit and I are in a band called Terminated. We only name our songs after Adam Sandler quotes.
So good.
And
so funny.
At least for the first EP.
For the first EP, we have 2 songs on Spotify, and we are actually in the process of booking new dates to record, hopefully, another EP. We have a show. When is it, Richard? The
June 15th.
June 15th at Haltom Theater. If anybody watching wants to come out and kick it, it should be a pretty good show. That's about all we got right there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, it's weird doing this myself because I'm not usually the one steering the ship. But hey, if you want to check out the things that I do the Secret Levels podcast. It's a retro video game review show. We go over one game per episode. We go over the history, the story, the gameplay, some fun facts, and we'll let you know if it's still worth playing 30 years later or however old it is. You can also catch me on Twitch, streaming those said retro games at twitch.tv/TobyVonDoom. I stream every Tuesday at 7:15 Central Standard Time, but I do stream sometimes throughout the week. So come hang out and stuff, and all that good stuff. But yeah, hey, we'll talk off air and see if we're gonna do a hardcore corner number 2 since Rick's not available. I know he'll be back the next week after that, so we'll be back to our normal.
Yeah, we might have a surprise guest that week.
Yeah, he
'Cause I won't be in town. He was teasing that. I'll be on vacation. So
so it's your replacement.
yeah, probably. So go ahead, dude. I miss having my Thursday nights, you know.
Well, hey, I really like this. This was fun, just getting to talk about just the old times, and we may have to do another category thing like that because that was.
Dude, let's do it.
It's fun. It's heartbreaking.
That's pretty fun. Or just another fresh list of bands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool too.
I don't know.
But we definitely will be doing Tales from the Pit. I'm already thinking of how I'm going to do the graphics and everything. I love making graphics. The graphics.
Is it like Tales from the Crypt?
Yes, of course.
Tales from the Pit, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know what? Real quick, I forgot to shout this out. My boy, go check out his band Ridgefield. He told me to shout him out tonight, so I'm going to. Go check out his band Ridgefield if you like some punk music. It's pretty fucking good. Go check him out. My boy Mateo. Check it out. Ridgefield. Holler at him.
Sick.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know how to wrap this up because I've never been the wrap-up guy on this. So I guess we'll see you later, nerds.
See you later, nerds.